What's going on, everybody? And well, I just abruptly stopped the music. I didn't even just decide I was going to like go down with it. I just literally was like, no more music. You're not fucking getting any more music, chat.
Okay. It's okay. We'll fix it in post.
We hit
Don't
our
worry.
second allotment.
I was super amped to get started with the podcast. So I was just like, cut the fucking music. We're going now. We're going now. We have everybody here.
Bill, that is true. Bill
That's
O'Reilly,
true.
that shit.
It's been a while.
So
It's been a while, man.
this is the no spin zone of music, I guess, right? Funny story about Bill O'Reilly. I learned to very much hate that man, not because of his political views or anything like that, but because my grandmother watched that fucking show all the fucking time, and that's all I fucking heard all day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Bill damn O'Reilly. So in the no spin zone. All right. Well, you're not listening to a political podcast. I know that may sound weird as we're talking about Bill O'Reilly, but you are listening to a video game podcast. And welcome to the Pre-Patch Podcast, episode 116, the Plunderstorm Dogs of Siege at 30 FPS. I think is what I said. That's the title.
Plunderstorm, yeah,
Close enough.
yeah, something like that.
Our political podcast is still in the work. That's going to be the pre-POTUS podcast.
Yeah, pre-POTUS. Oh my God. We will interview.
You know?
Well, we're not going to interview the real Donald Trump and Joe Biden. It's going to be the AI Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I mean, those will be more interesting anyways. So yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Absolutely.
I actually want to get
will
the
fall
I want to get the kid that talks like Trump on the TikTok kid or whatever it is.
Dude, what's so bad is that I go through TikTok when I'm on the shitter, and so have been sitting there going through it, and I've been going, I guess because I've been going through it enough and like watching some of the AI stuff that's happening. Now I get like AI Joe Rogan podcasts where I'm like, this doesn't sound right. But
Yeah.
he's like telling me like, did you know that there's a pyramid on Mars? I'm like, there's a pyramid on fucking Mars? And then yeah, it was
Because it's something
I've
that
been
he
getting-
would say too, you know, like
Right?
it's
Absolutely.
believable.
oh,
I've been getting the same thing, but
Funny.
it's video game facts narrated by Patrick Bateman. So
Oh wow, that's
Wait
pretty
until
good.
you wait until you start going down the rabbit hole and start finding the Skinwalker videos on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook
I get
and
those.
shit.
I've seen some of those.
dude,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
love those
creepy.
things. Dude, I sit there and watch them all the time.
Like
I
the
absolutely
Alaska
love them.
tribe skinwalkers. And they're
Oh
coming for
yeah,
your
dude. The
children,
one that
and
they go in there and they're like,
oh.
we're the reason that nobody returns from the lakes of Alaska.
The one that's got the picture of the dog and they're like, that's my dog,
Yeah.
but my dog is over here. What's
Yeah.
going on?
I've seen that. So that was hilarious. Anyway, well, welcome in, guys. We are not this random TikTok skinwalker political
we're a cryptid
podcast. We're
podcast
actually
now.
here about talking about
I
video
could be
games.
a skinwalker. You never know.
You could be. We know you could be Donald Trump. Hey, hell,
I
you
could. I
never-
don't want to, but
never know, but-
yeah, I sure we'll go with that. I could
Sure.
be. Yeah.
Who knows?
So, but welcome in again. We have the full crew. Super excited. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and a very short amount of time to go through it. We've got some games that we've been playing. I know the big question is have we been playing Dragon's Dogma? Well, you're going to have to hold on to your toes to find out. No, the answer is no. We have not had a chance to play Dragon's Dogma.
why the toes? Why is that what
unfortunately-
we're holding on to?
Well, because I feel bad. Like I feel like everybody hold on to your tits, but like what happened to like toes feel bad?
Hold on to
Like,
your tits.
yeah,
mean, I
Hold
feel
on
like
to your
it's-
ass.
have you never? Well, ass,
it-
tits. Never mind.
hold
You know,
on.
either one.
Well,
Hold
we
on
know
to
what
my
Awkward
knees.
fits
to, like,
first.
bend
So.
over and hold on to your toes, though.
Yeah,
I hold on to my elbows and my knees.
yeah, sure. Whatever
Hold on to your
floats
toes
your
just
boat.
sounds like a prison thing.
No, that's grab your toes, not hold on to your toes. You don't. You can just sit Indian style and grab your toes, right? Like you don't have to.
Anyways,
Bend
we
over.
have not played.
Yeah, we have not played Dragon's Dogma.
Oh my
I'm very
gosh.
excited to play Dragon's Dogma, though it did launch today.
Yeah,
at-
like 5 fucking o'clock in the evening, dude. This is ridiculous, dude.
yeah,
That's the only
5
reason.
and
Like literally,
8.
that's the only reason why we weren't able to play it. Well, that and a couple of other reasons, but
Yeah.
like legitimately, who releases their game at like 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern
Yeah, that-
Standard Time?
I don't know. It's
That
very
is
weird.
a really odd time to release.
It's
Well,
Where
very
are
yeah,
they
odd.
it's
located
just-
out of? Are they out of state?
I don't know.
They're EU
It's
based.
Capcom.
Yeah, they're EU.
I thought they were
based.
EU.
They
Yeah.
are. They're EU
Yeah.
based. Yeah.
Mm,
It's
probably
I
not.
trust me, I don't mind it being earlier, but I wish it was like earlier even more in like the
Yes.
EU or Eastern time, because like if it would have released at like noon EST or
Yeah, right.
5,
Well, that's normal,
It's-
right?
that's-
Like
Well, it wasn't even. It was supposed to release tomorrow. Like, it's technically supposed to come out on the 22nd, but they were like, "Hey, we're gonna surprise drop it," which is great. But we're gonna surprise drop it at like 8:09. It's like, what? Like, what? Why? So anyway, I don't know.
Weird.
But
Yeah.
we are going to talk a little bit about Dragon's Dogma when we're talking about the news segment. And there's some drama that's around it, but I'm excited to play it. I've watched quite a bit of videos on it. So. But if this is your first,
we will have a full review for you next week.
Okay, this is just gonna be a podcast full of Enigma interrupting me, huh? Again, like last week, I was literally just trying to transition into.
Is that anything new? Like,
I swear to God, I'm just gonna mute you. Just gonna fucking mute you. If this is your first time here, well, welcome to the shit show. There are 115 other episodes that are out there for you to watch, and yeah, you should go check us out. Also, by the way,
go like this.
They do beautiful panels down below. Thank you to our main man Scruffy here. He did some work, some Photoshop work,
Of course.
And posted some beautiful panels. If you're on the Twitch side, if you are not on the Twitch side and you're on our YouTube side, welcome everybody. Again, we do this live, so you can come in and chat with us live. Or
that's all of our socials, by the way. And yes, we're even on Facebook.
Yeah, for all you boomers out there that want to listen to us. So,
hey man,
2 of our podcast members didn't even know it.
I don't even have a Facebook account. I didn't even know Facebook was even still a thing. So to be 100% honest, so
it's meta now, sir. Thank you very much.
Whatever, Meta, X, Bird, Tweet, all that good stuff. So. But welcome in everybody, and again, we do this live. If not, you can catch us at any of our channels or
that's why Sin's not on it. He's off Meta.
I'm off Meta. That's good. I'll give that to you. All right,
good.
that was really good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, on that note, we're gonna talk about games that we've been playing because that was just shitty. All right. Well, we're gonna start with Scruffy. Scruffy, what video game have you been playing, good sir?
Still, I just finally jumped into a game that released like last year, and I've owned it for like months now, but finally got some people to get into it with, and that game would be Party Animals. I was really excited to play this one too, because I just love these style of games. And if you guys don't know what Party Animals is, if you haven't seen it, think like Gang Beasts or like Human Fall Flat, and if you don't know those, just think any sort of family style ragdoll party game. It's just beating up your friends as these random ragdoll animals and just like sending each other like everywhere, pretty much, all in like these matches that are all different. This is my first time actually playing this one, and it's honestly a blast. There's like so many different game modes to do. One of them is actually kind of like Rocket League, which I really enjoyed. You had to like send this ball into like a court or whatever and like score it. One of them is like shooting people off of like a train. Pretty much Gang Beast, man. Like it's honestly a lot of fun. I was really enjoying this. I don't know if any of you have played it all at all.
I played the beta when it was out.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's not my type of game necessarily. I mean, I could see it as being like a fun like little party game.
To me, yeah, it's like a Fall Guys level enjoyment. Like I'm not gonna like main this game or anything. I don't think anyone really does, except we did find like a team of like sweats. So maybe there is that.
There's sweats and party animals.
There is. They were all running the same animal with like just blinged out skins and everything, and they were all just going crazy. I'm like,
are you sure that wasn't just sent on for computers?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm actually lying to you. I'm actually like the number 1, 2, and 3 ranked player on party animals. Yep. I multi-box just for this game.
I'm surprised there's not a ranked game mode in this game though. I don't know why. I feel like people would eat that shit up. But it actually is a lot of fun. I played a few different matches. Like I said, there's tons of different game modes. This one that, if you guys are watching live and you're seeing on stream, is called Buzzball. That was the one I was just describing, where you kind of like score this electrified ball that into like the opponent's net. Most of them are like team oriented. I don't know if there's any like free for all ones, but it's like teams of like 4v4 pretty much. It's good though, honestly. It's everything I wanted out of the game. Like I said, it's not a game that I'm going to be playing like tons of, but just like every once in a while to get like a group of friends together and just beat each other up. I could definitely see this being a good like kind of drunk party night game. So there's that too.
There's no difference in the animals that you choose, right? Like they're all the same.
It's just all the same. Like I'm this big derpy gorilla dude. There's an otter, there's pigs, and all sorts of animals. They're all the same. They just look
So
different.
so it's just skins. There's no like advantage
skins.
to picking one over the other or anything of that nature.
No advantage.
And it's a team based online game, or can you solo queue or
Online? Yeah, it's all matches, but there's like custom games you could do too. Set up with your friends.
how many game modes do they have?
That literally, I don't know. I played for like maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I saw over like 20 at least, and we didn't even play them all
Damn.
because you vote for. Yeah, there's a lot, so I don't know how many like there is an actual.
That's some Mario Party mini games.
Yeah, and they go fast. So
What's the price on this?
$20.
It's not bad.
So actually a pretty fair price. I think it was even on sale. The sale just ended, but it was like $14.
Well, that's not too bad.
So
I mean,
yeah.
like it's wild to see that these like there are like a very large community that really do just dig these type of games. Like I would categorize this in like the Among Us like style. Not it's not Gang Beast. What's that other one where it's like a board game? It's like Mario Party, but it's like on Steam and it's
Pummel Party.
Pummel
That
Party,
game's a
yeah,
blast, yeah,
like Pummel
for sure,
Party.
man. Like I said, it's not a game that you main, but like you jump around with these games. Like if you have a night full of like party games, you're playing this, you're playing Pummel Party, you're playing. You said Among Us, all those games. It's just like to add it to the rotation of these just goofy little party games.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
It's good. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, there you go. That is Party Animals. Again, you can pick it up on Steam. Is it on anything else, or is it just Steam solely?
That I don't know.
Should be on consoles. I think it's on Switch too.
I think it is on consoles. Yeah, Party Animals.
Oh, we're looking it up. We're looking it up live, chat.
It looks like it's on Xbox, and
We're doing it live.
I don't think it's on PlayStation. I'm not seeing here on PlayStation. I think just Xbox.
Well, that's because PlayStation
and
got
PC.
Bubble Party Foam Master or whatever. So they said,
would be
you know,
it,
you're
yeah.
not getting Party Animals. Bill, by
Yep,
the way, are
as
you
far as I
still
can see,
playing Foam
Xbox,
Stars?
PC.
No,
No,
I've got
Too
too
many other
much other
games.
thing.
too
Yeah.
many other games. Oh, all right. So you said Xbox and PC, C is what you said?
Correct.
No
Yep.
Switch, huh? All right. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, there's that. We are going to talk about another game that we've myself and I know Bill have jumped back into. I don't think Scruffy, I don't think you've jumped in yet, right? Like you've not jumped back into Siege.
No, not the new season. Not
Not
yet.
new season. So
Soon.
have
What about
jumped
you,
back
Enigma?
into Siege. I don't think you have either.
I have not. No.
But jump back into Siege and wanted to play out the new season, the new operator, new changes. And I gotta say, like, I'm actually so I want to have this discussion with you, Bill, because we talked about it on the show and last week, and we were talking about all the new changes, and we were talking about how the game is more slowed down. I feel opposite, man. I feel like the game is so much more fast paced now than what it used to be, especially like maybe it's because like I think we were talking about in your chat.
So what do you mean by fast paced specifically?
So
like what's fast? What do you feel is faster?
I feel like the defense meta is no longer like a kind of hold kind of thing. There's a lot more roaming that I am like I don't know. I mean, I'm just like I feel like there's so much more and
I
maybe,
feel the exact opposite just because there's so many more ACOGs on defense now. So holding tighter corners and like playing more like objectively positional is it's from the games that I've been playing. We might be in two totally different skill brackets where you're getting
I'm sure.
crackheads and I'm not, but
trash.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, he should be in a higher skill level than I am.
no,
like,
that wasn't.
sure.
I could be the trash one.
No,
I also have you been playing ranked?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not jumped into
I've just
that
been
yet.
playing
I do feel
standard.
like the play styles of ranked and casual is so far different. The casual, I feel like there's a ton of roamers.
Also by like playstyle, do you mean like your playstyle or just like a overarching playstyle that you've seen? Because like you like to play extremely like up in your face.
Oh, I play
aggressive.
very I play aggressive as
Yeah.
shit. Like but I've always played like that. Like as a defender, like I always even like even this season, I'll play like Legion, and I'm fucking like I'll throw down 1 or 2 canisters, and then I'm just roaming around like like fucking getting in people's faces, tossing canisters, running away from them, like just doing stuff that you should not. Definitely, I'm sure people.
Yeah.
Jinxie would kick his fucking camera and never say grim. But
Lord.
Anyway,
It's pretty good actually.
That was actually really good. Yeah.
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 But no, so there's two. The way the season's kind of worked out is created 2 different play styles. There's still the run and gun play style that I feel like was real heavy last season. I still feel like last season was a lot faster and a lot more roam heavy than what this one is. There's Maestros everywhere, there are Valkyries everywhere. This season, more of the anchor defenders at least have a place where they're not completely outclassed, I think, because of the ACOG changes. So that's been nice. But the attachments have really changed up the game a lot, in my opinion, with what I'm assuming you're running is like either iron sights or low zoom optics. You're probably running the horizontal grip for faster movement speed, that kind of stuff.
So I don't do the horizontal grip. I still do the vertical grip on there, but I mean it's not my play style that I feel like it's changed. It's a lot of like, and maybe it was just because with new seasons you get all of the sweats that come in, right? And just everybody comes, you know, it's just like
it's very true too.
Yeah.
You know, so
like
it
you've got all the high skill cap people that are popping back on to get into the new season.
The biggest thing that slowed the game down for me though is the aiming down sight speeds being
that's
significantly slower, which I think is what the game needed. That's why I don't feel like it's quite as crackhead, because you can't round a corner and then instantly aim down sight.
That's like the second time they've nerfed ADS time, right? Because they
you can feel it. Ooh, you can feel it, boy.
Yeah, you can feel it. And they made iron sights give you an ADS bonus, 1x give a smaller ADS bonus, and then lasers now give ADS bonus. So there are ways to kind of get close to what it used to be like. But even if you stack like laser sight and laser and iron sights, you're still not getting back to as fast as you were last season.
No, I'll definitely agree there. That definitely feels, and it has fucked me because I have gone around a corner trying to, you know, and mainly when I'm playing like Oryx, like I'll have like iron sights and laser and just trying to be quick about it. And I'll come around that corner and just be like, I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I feel like I'm moving through Jello trying to like bring my gun sight up. But
right.
I mean, all in all, though, like I will say, like the game still it feels better than it did last season.
Significantly.
I actually stopped playing mid last season. I didn't even finish my battle pass because last season just didn't feel that great, comparable to the season I played before that.
Right.
You know, but
I do want to ask you, how have you been adjusting to a 1.5 scope free Siege? Were you 1.5 made, or have you been adjusting fine?
What you see here is what I've always used. I've never gone anything like I've tried ACOGs, I've tried all the different ones. I never liked it. This scope. I don't know what this is called. It's like Reflex C.
It's Reflex. Yeah, it's one
Reflex A or C is what I use, and I've always used it. I don't know why. I've tried multiple different ones. Like everybody preaches about the ACOG. I can't do it. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't do it.
I can't really get into the ACOG either.
So
gotcha.
The 1.5 stuff never really, you know, messed with me too much.
I'm actually a holographic user.
Yeah, I've tried doing that too. I can't do that either.
I've recently transitioned from Red Dot C to Hollow.
I like the Hollow.
It's whatever the Hollow site is that has the circle with the little dot in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's the one I use.
It's the one that I always used.
Yeah. I've moved away from
that.
Clear
sight picture. I feel like a little bulky, but not too bad.
But I will say I love the changes to the shield like changes, because now I feel like it's a lot easier to get. Like we were playing, I don't know if it's gonna be this clip or not, but we were playing against a Montong that was just, it was actually, the team got super pissed because we just wiped the floor with them, so they all were running shields, but it including even the clash, but that's a whole different story. But it was one of the situations where, you know, the Monton went in, and because he had to choose whether he was going to be offensive or defensive, like we were able to kill him pretty quickly and easily, and it was really nice Same thing with like Blitz and Fuse and whatnot.
Have you struggled against the new shields and how they operate at all?
No, not really.
No, I feel like the
Feels
shields
pretty
are
fair.
only it's a good positive change with the shields.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they feel like they actually serve their purpose, which is to be defensive.
Yeah.
Right.
So
How do you
playing as them feels better, playing against them feels better.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Let's talk about Deimos, right? Because when I first saw Deimos, I was like, dude, this guy looks badass, right?
I mean, he does look badass. I agree.
He does. But like his style and everything like that, I was just like, dude, this is my character, this is my jam. And I have tried, and sometimes I can pop off, right? But other times I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because I don't know the maps well enough to know like the soft wall, like the angles of like how many, where is this person kind of, to this soft wall, and how can I like two tap them or whatever. I don't know. I'm not as successful.
You do know you get pinged yourself, correct?
Yeah, no, I know that.
Okay.
And I know it's a delayed ping. But it's just what I'm finding out more with Deimos is that where I thought he was going to be way more aggressive, because like, again, you can just like, you're going to be able to see where they're at. You're going to be able to find them and kind of get to them. I'm finding out that he's a lot more of just like an intel champ, or attacker, where it's just like, hey, you're there to basically tell the team where these people are at. Like that is and yes, you do
really
have
he's really good in post plan too.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, and like there's modes where like we got down to 1 or 2, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I can tell you kind of where they are, but I don't know. Where I thought he was going to be super aggressive and be able to kind of be my playstyle, I just found myself not. I don't know.
I think you can. I don't have the skills for it. I've tried probably 10 rounds or so on Deimos trying to figure him out, which probably isn't enough to get him figured out, but I'm absolutely ass with him. I think I've gotten maybe 2 kills total with Deimos.
Yeah.
I can't win the 1v1s. I can't do anything with him. I had a little bit more success in using him in a end game situation where it's like only 2 or so operators left, but even then, like he is not for me. And I agree with you. He looks really cool. He aesthetically, his kit is like on paper dope. I can't make it work. So
yeah,
I have a few people in my stack that I play with that do enjoy him though, and have been getting some decent use out of him. I know Pika likes him quite a bit, and Jake likes him as well. So
you think he's gonna be strong in like competitive play, like actual like rank or
probably. Intel tends to be a lot more powerful in competitive than it does in like standard or anything that we're playing.
Do you think he's gonna take over the Jackal ban?
No.
That's like an everlong ban.
The difference is Jackal gives full team ping, so it's a lower skill ceiling to use him, whereas Deimos, you have to have map knowledge to be able to accurately call somebody out. And
for sure.
Then you also have to have mechanical skill to win your 1v1 if you do get into one with him. So he's interesting. He has a good place in the kit. In this game, I just feel like he's not my jam. It's honestly similar to Cav. I cannot make Cav work to save my life. Maybe I'm just bad with pistols. I don't know.
Dude, I love Cav. I love playing Cav. I can like that. She's a champ that I feel very comfortable with, but I don't know. It's something with Deimos. I don't know if it's his revolver. I also wonder too, like, do you ever think that there'll be a situation where they will make it to where you can do his live ping and his drones, but then you have the option to switch out and go to his, because I don't think you can, right? You can't switch to his.
No, you're locked
primary.
into the pistol. Yeah.
Like and like, so if you were to switch to his primary, you lose the drone. The drone goes away. Like, do you ever think that would? Because there have been situations too where I'm like,
you can't cancel it.
So you have to use your pistol while droning.
Just hit the ability button again, and it immediately cancels it. And then you can pull your AK out. So
I didn't know that.
That's something you could do. You could scan somebody for like a second to figure out where they're at, and once you kind of get like an idea of where they're at, shut the scan off, and then go fight them normally. With
maybe that's my
knowledge.
Playstyle then. Maybe that's how I
give them another try. I've tried to make that work too, and it hasn't. So I've tried all the tricks.
It's I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
This has been a good return to Siege. I feel like Siege is getting back to kind of that old charm that it used to have before the Call of Duty kids took over.
Well, I don't
So.
think that we are alone, because we'll jump right into our news section here and talk about how, well, Rainbow Six Siege has rocketed to the top of the Steam charts after 8 years from its
Finally.
release. So we are obviously not alone in this. I think it's saying that it surpassed 201,933 peak users online, and that's only from Steam. That's not even including, obviously what
its highest player count to date.
So
my question for you is this the new season? Is this the fact that the most popular Twitch streamer in the world right now is a Siege streamer? Do you think it's a little bit of both?
Did they just have a sale as well?
It goes on sale every time a new season starts. So yeah, it was like 70% off or something. It was like,
I was gonna say, I thought it was something like insane, like 80% off or something like that. It
was like
they do a
$7
lot of
very
crazy
total.
sales.
So
but the game's been out for so long that they can get away with that.
I mean,
and I honestly am surprised it hasn't went free to play yet.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm kind of glad it hasn't though.
They need to get the cheaters figured out before it can go full free to play.
Exactly that. Yeah.
So to answer your question, Bill, I think it's a little bit of both, right? And I think there's also a third category here that we're kind of not touching on, which is there's really a lack right now of strong, competitive, good shooters that are out there. Like, I think that you've got your Halos, you've got your CODs are in the fucking trash, right? Battlefield's kind of making a comeback with the new season. I do want to jump into that to try out that new season, which we'll talk about why I haven't in a minute. But but other than that, like your arena-based, shooters, which I would classify this as a tactical arena-based shooter. You don't like that's it. There's nothing. What else is out there? Like there's really not a lot. So
I mean, I've talked to my cousin about Siege a ton of times, and he always just compares it to Call of Duty Search and Destroy, like that, but like ramped up.
I can see that more tactical search, COD search.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's still Siege is still arcadey in a sense, but it's more less so than many of the other games on the market right now.
You know what I think it hits an itch of is you've got your mobile players that like, there's multiple different characters, multiple different play styles, multiple different kind of, hero, whatever else. You've you also have your hero shooter, like you have an Overwatch and things of that nature, right? And then again, it's still got the, the skill gap has become where, again, for someone like me, I was a staunch we all know this. Like I fucking hated this fucking game. I fucking hated it. Me and Bill would go fucking toe to toe on past episodes about this game, to now being like, oh, I love it. I'm playing and I'm having a good time with it. So I think a lot of it too, like Ubisoft, as much as we don't like to give them as credit, but I'll give you credit where credit's due. Like they've done a good job of making sure the game feels good. And then, yes, you then have now Jinxie, and Sketch, the top, streamers in the world right now. And love him or hate him, man, I will say, like, Jinxie can be entertaining as shit. Like watching that dude stream and like he's loud, he's obnoxious. I get it, but at the same time, like he's also he can back it up. Like he went toe to toe with Shroud. I don't know if you guys watched that. And he did a very good job against Shroud. Like I won't say he wiped the floor. I was almost gonna say he wiped the floor with Shroud, but he did a very good job.
He kind of did.
Yeah.
But again, I think Shroud only won 3 rounds of that entire series.
Yeah. You're taking Shroud, who's an overall amazing competitive shooter, with Jinxie being a very good competitive shooter in Siege being his main game, when Shroud's overall. And it's a very good matchup, really.
Yeah, mechanical aim isn't everything with Siege, and that's one place where it does differentiate itself from a lot of the shooters in the market right now.
Though I also feel like the aim just factor alone and the gunfights in Siege also allow it to be an easier game to get into, because end of the day, you don't need full knowledge of all the ops like right off the bat in early like starting areas of the game. As long as you could just aim and shoot, like you'll get there,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. There's some maps, dude.
I don't know about that. Yeah,
dude, there's some maps I fucking hate.
Being somebody that has not played the game, and when I went back to playing it, or when I went to playing it with you guys, I still felt like I was doing ass. I had no fucking clue what we were doing. I didn't know what we were doing in the maps.
You're gonna need
I was getting
knowledge,
shot
knowledge
from
and everything
places.
eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like coming into a game like that. Siege is not the easiest game to come into if you've never done something like that. So,
in fact, the reason that Enigma is pointing out are some of the main reasons why I hated the game because I can't tell you what switch happened to me being like, okay.
You decided to give it a chance.
It was pure bullying is what it was.
That's probably yeah.
But I don't know. But I definitely understand that because there are times where like I will get shot from a spot. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How did I get shot from here? You know,
that was back a while ago when you when they still had like bullet pixel.
Bro, that shit
peaks.
was so fucking annoying.
Pixel peaks were
it was still like that even the last season. Like it was still like that where I'd get shot from just nowhere, out of nowhere, and just be like, okay, don't know where the fuck that was, but cool.
It's not nearly as bad as what it used to be, though, bud. Like,
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It's not as bad as it used to be.
No,
but it's still pretty rough.
Yeah,
you can still find ways.
Oh, absolutely. So, but I mean, I posed the same question to you, Bill. Like, what do you think this? Let me ask you, what do you think this means for Siege? Like, do you think, because I think originally what I remember hearing last was like we were supposed to get to like one more defender or two more defenders and one more attacker, and then that was going to be it. And then they were going to kind of, I think, move to the talks was like moving to something different.
I don't remember that. I heard 100 operators total, so 50-50.
Where are we at now?
And we're halfway there.
We're halfway there. We're at 25 and 25.
Whoa.
Something like that.
Hey, watch it, man. You're about to get us demonetized.
I do know that 100 operators total is Rainbow Six Siege's end goal.
Is that including recruit?
Yeah, because they're actually reworking recruit next season.
I saw the recruit. Like I was watching some videos on like recruit. Because we've been talking about Siege. Of course, you know, Siege stuff is starting to pop up on my feed, you know, thanks AI, thanks Facebook, thanks YouTube, you know. But I was watching something. Apparently, like the new recruits are supposed to be bad guys or something like that. I don't know how.
Yeah, they very well could be. They've been adding like with Damos and stuff. They've been adding villain characters to the
recruits were the enemies all along.
Yeah. So there's 71
we were the bad guys all along.
71 operators in the game right now, excluding recruit.
So you only got like what 30 more left?
Yeah.
30 more left.
And then next season we get 2 recruits. There's going to be an attacking and a defending recruit that are going to be different.
How many of them do they usually bring out in a year? 1, 2?
In a year, usually 4.
Is it 4? Okay,
2
that's
attackers,
not bad.
2 defenders.
That's like one.
That's honestly not a bad. That's honestly not a bad.
That's 5 more fucking
system.
years.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Prim Fresh.
Fucking actually, that's 6 more years.
Yeah.
Than that. Like,
fuck yeah.
I mean,
they have
sure.
no intentions. They have no intentions of doing a Siege 2. They're going to go the route where they just continue to update and overhaul the engine instead of doing what Overwatch did.
I mean, I'm not.
That's what I was going to say. I just don't see how they could do like a Siege 2. Like, I mean, they could do a Siege 2. They could pull a
it's Ubisoft, boys and girls. Come on,
I could see them.
It's Ubisoft. They could do it, but I think that Siege is one of those franchises that they're like really strictly. They don't want to fuck over too much because they have built a lot of reputation with the Siege community over the years. So,
I mean, that's 2030.
Yeah, I'm for it. Especially if they keep on the track record that they're doing. So, in answer to your question, Sin, and we can kind of wrap this up. I think Jinxie is a big part of it. I think both the year reveal and the new season actually launching well, and them kind of leaning back into what Siege is about and what makes it different is a big number 2. I think number 3, for people that give a shit about the lore of the game and kind of the overall operator builds in general, they're moving more away from the like sci-fi-ish stuff and like the stuff that people didn't really care about. Like people didn't seem to really enjoy like the the Olympic Games arc
That was
that
fucking
they did with
stupid.
the story.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We're actually getting back into see like Rainbow doing Rainbow things, going after terrorists, inhibiting other like mercenary groups and stuff from doing shit.
It's always
they're
been
getting
an
back
issue
into
with
the
Rainbow
roots of
Six
it
stuff.
actually being a war situation. So,
like especially with the recent stuff that they've come out with. I mean, we talked about it last week where we talked about the Wildlands and Breakpoint, right? Like the biggest issue that a lot of people had with Breakpoint was just like how futuristic it went and how like so heavily dependent on it was for like the drones and the technology and everything like that. People just want a good tactical shooter that is grounded in tactical shooter, not bullshit sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we still have been getting sci-fi-ish stuff, but it's at least more,
I mean,
it's more grounded than a
it's
chick
more
that
in line with
sends out a hologram.
I was gonna say it's more in line with what you would actually get in today's modern warfare than anything else.
I was gonna say, and that's what like drew me away from talking about another game that did that, COD and their games. They went so heavy in the sci-fi realm that I was like, I'm over it. I'm good.
I think it's just a perfect storm of events, and I'm happy to see Siege is finally getting its time because I've loved this game for years, and I've always felt like it was underrated. So, happy to see it spiking up and getting there.
All right, well, it's popular now, so I'm gonna shit on it like I shit on A24. If you play fucking Siege, you're a douchebag. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Out of context.
Just kidding.
But you play Siege.
Well, so, I still don't watch A24 movies, so that's okay. And if you're wanting to know what the fuck I'm talking about, go watch episode 114. I think is when or 113. One of them. I went on a fucking tear for A24. Yeah. So, well, cool. Well, let's talk about another game that actually is coming out here soon that dropped. I think it dropped as trailer or boss battle gameplay. I've watched some of this. I've seen some of this, and thank you to IGN for the footage. But No Rest for the Wicked. So this is actually being made by the same community or developer Moon Studios that did Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori
Will of the
Wisps. And it is
total change of pace, bro.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely,
just absolutely.
It's a it's Diablo style in the sense that it's isometric, but it gives very like from what I've seen like very kind of like roguelike-esque elements, or not roguelike, Souls-like-esque elements. But I also want to do something. Can we stop doing that as a whole?
Yeah,
like,
I was actually about
comparison.
To say.
I feel like everything gets like the Souls-like title, and I feel bad for Souls-like lovers and things like that because at a certain, it's kind of like when everyone's like, "Oh, it's an MMO, bro." This is not a fucking MMO. Like, so I get it. So let me retract that statement. It is a difficult style game. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Souls-like game. Like,
Enigma.
I'm going to continue using that. I'm sorry, but that's it's a genre. It's not, bro. It's not something. It's like joking. It's not a descriptor for like being able to compare it to a Souls-like game. It's a genre now. Like there is viable uses for that terminology, and I will continue to use it 100%.
I mean, I just think that it's like I said, I think it's the same thing of like MMO, like where MMO gets thrown onto a lot of games that just
now if you state, oh, it's a Dark Souls game, then yes, 100%, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's stupid. It's Dark Souls. You can't compare that to Dark Souls. Souls-like is the genre that Dark Souls is.
Is that not what they actually
Souls-like is the genre that they created in creating Dark Souls in those styles.
I think I replaced the article, but I'm pretty sure the article did describe this as a Dark Souls isometric.
Well, that's that's
I'm chill if the developers want to call them that. I just hate gaming journalism, so I'm bored with shitting on them any chance that I get.
It's more of the journalist,
honestly, this looks more like Castle Crashers than it does Dark Souls, in my opinion. So
Castle Crashers.
I don't know if I'd go Castle Crashers. Wait. That's kind of far on the other side.
Oh, who's joking now anymore? Is that...
So it's Castles like instead of Souls like.
It's a Crasher like. Okay,
yeah,
it's a Crasher like. Yeah.
Oh, God, we're inventing our own shit.
It's Castle Light, Crasher Light.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay, well, can we
goodness
talk
gracious.
about the actual game that we're watching?
I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's made by the guys that do Ari, and it definitely shows in their like lighting and their specific like. It does give me big Ari vibes with like the art style in a lot of cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
This game reminds me, and I'm trying to figure out if it's the same game. There was a game that came out not too long ago.
Are you gonna compare it to another game?
No. I think that this might be the same game, but they just redid everything so that it doesn't look the same.
There
but
was a game that I couldn't think of that, you know, you're onto something. I think there was like something that came out in the early stages of this game, and it just looks so much.
It looked different. It was completely different. The
Yeah.
one that I'm thinking about was like an over the shoulder third person like boss fighting.
I'm
and like
pretty sure.
and like when you fought the boss and killed the boss, you got a part from the boss, and then you could make your own boss
I know
that
what you're
other people
talking
could fight.
Yeah, it's Sex Kittens 47. That game's really good.
That's definitely it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
okay.
definitely it. It's a sex light, you know. That
I think Sin might be honestly playing that game, but hiding it in his Steam library, because you can do that now. You can hide the games that you play from your friends.
But I'm not sure if it's the same game. It just the name really reminds me of it, and I can't remember if if they use the same name or if they use a very similar name. But it looks good. I like if it is the same game. I like the direction they went, because that game was I didn't like that game at all.
I think I know the game that you're talking about, and I really can't.
I can't remember what it was called, man. Yeah, I want to say it was like there was definitely no rest for something, and I can't remember what the rest of the title was. But
we don't have a price on this, so we do know it's coming out. Well, it's coming out in 3 weeks, so April 18th is when it's set to come out.
It's coming out in 3 weeks, and we don't have a price for it. That's crazy.
Yeah. No pre-order yet. It is actually Steam is comparing it to Grim Dawn and God of War. I don't know if I would put those on there.
I don't know about God of War,
$30. I imagine it'll probably stay around the $30
it'll probably
range.
be 30. Yeah, that's
kind of where they stick around. Yeah.
That's where they usually sit. Yeah.
And again, for anybody that's listening, we probably should have described this. So what we're showing, and this is why you should be here live if you can, or catch the VODs, is it's basically a top down, you know, I think of Diablo, right? But also like take Ori and fucking make it look like a Diablo style game, put it into like a very like dark you know, medieval fantasy universe, and throw some difficulty into it to make it a Souls-esque game.
Spice.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. You got to come up with a different term.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't see hardly any soul resemblance to it myself.
Yeah,
I think it's just the combat, like the weight of the combat. I watched a video describing, like, the developers wanted it to be, you know, like every button press was, you know, decisive. Like you're.
I don't know.
It's not just a spam like a hack and slash. It's
this boss
more
fight.
than that.
This boss fight, I see Dark Souls vibes.
Okay, but
in a lot of
is
instances.
it not something? I'm kind of leaning in with Bill in this, because I'm saying, like, before Souls existed, it's not like boss fight. These kind of boss fights weren't there, like, you know, and they weren't difficult. I feel like anybody now that has like, oh, we're gonna have a big health bar, we're gonna put the name in white right above it, and you're gonna dodge roll. It's a Souls like kind of thing. I mean, I'm not
like,
saying,
is there a death mechanic in this game? Is there like what's the leveling system like? There's a lot more than just like roll bosses and stuff that make a Souls game a Souls game.
Like, I'd argue like Salt and Sanctuary. If you've seen those games, those are
Salt and Sanctuary for sure. Like,
that's, you know, but no, I see where you're coming from. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to describe it other than just a more brutal like hack and slash, but it's not a hack and slash.
I personally don't see the bad side of describe that. It's not like you're trying to insult it in some way. Like when you say a Dark Souls-esque game or a Souls like or a Souls light, to me that's stating an homage to Dark Souls and to Dark Souls games in general. Like granted, yeah, you could be like, well, you're not giving this studio the ability to stand out on their own, but like, I mean,
I'm just saying, I think that it can be an overused title and descriptive word that
for journalists, they eat that shit up. You know, it's a very clickbaity thing to describe something as, but
you know, which I believe, like, if Conker's Bad Fur Day came out, they'd be like, oh, that's a Souls-like game. Because, you know, if Crash Bandicoot comes out, it's a Souls-like game. It's fucking tough.
Didn't you know that Ghost and Goblins was the Souls-like of the Nintendo era?
Yeah, right? Like, it's so, I mean, it's I don't know.
It's like Chris Pratt playing every
oh my God
character in any movie. You know, he's Mario, he's Garfield. You know,
is he Garfield?
I think
he's Garfield.
I think that the game will stand out on its own.
Oh,
I think
of course,
that it's got a very unique like trend when it comes down to it. But
set aside anything else, like the game is made by the people who made Ori and the Wisp, and they are so critically acclaimed for that. Like
I'm excited for the music, dude. I've not watched this fully through, like music on, like this is the first time I'm seeing it. I love the music in Ori.
Never mind. I'm taking it back. This isn't Dark Souls-esque. This is Ori-esque.
Ori-esque.
Yeah, it's Ori-esque. Okay. There you
Ori-esque. Well, I was gonna say it's more Hollow Knight-esque to me. That I get a very Hollow Knight-esque. So, anyway, all right. Well, that's No Rest for the Wicked. If you're interested, if you're interested in that, it comes out in 3 weeks on Steam. You can go check it out. Again, made by Moon Studios, which were the acclaimed developers for Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. All right, let's talk about lawsuits. Who wants to talk about lawsuits? You guys like lawsuits?
No,
man.
Really.
Then how much money am I getting?
Well, if we're all to believe the truth, then we're going to all get about 0.25% of a cent. So, you know, just don't spend it everywhere.
Okay.
I like in our notes we have Epic as Wepic Games.
Well, I was wondering. I was like, what is this?
I was trying to think what is what.
So I'm just
I'm just typoed whenever I added this.
Just gonna read it as it says on here because I don't know what Wepic is. But Microsoft, Meta, X, and Spotify file legal brief supporting Epic Games. Sorry, Enigma. Fighting against Apple.
I thought this was closed though. So did they?
No, this is their fight
second
against
lawsuit.
the recent one. Yeah,
the second one. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is happening here? Like what?
Just
so this.
Go ahead.
This is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is their fight against Apple in the UK. No.
I mean I could scroll down. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down and learn together, chat. All right. Let's see. So the bloodbath between Apple and us.
Yeah. So Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney had earlier blasted Apple for what they claimed was the firm's malicious compliance with the requirement of the European Union's Digital Market Act. According to Sweeney, Apple was forcing users to choose the illegal App Store exclusivity or be saddled with anti-competitive junk fees on downloads and Apple taxes on payments processed by third-party platforms. So this is kind of, it's still in the same vein of the fight with the Tim McSweeney has had with Apple over the whole them doing their own store and bypassing the Apple Store and the Apple Store fees, right? But this is now they're trying to basically we reported on it. I think we might have talked about it last week. I think was what when we talked about it. But they're trying to basically do their own thing on the Apple App Store in the EU, and Apple removed their developer accounts. So they can't do anything in the EU sanctions or
as
in the EU
sections. Doing their own thing. Do you mean they're still trying to bypass like Apple?
They're still trying to bypass Apple's thing. Yes.
Okay.
In the EU. Yep.
In the EU, though. Okay.
They're trying to.
They're still trying to break
30% commission
Apple's
on every
TOS.
transaction. Pretty much, yeah. It's Tim Sweeney again. He thinks he's the savior of all mankind.
They're both scumbag companies.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I get what Epic is pissed off about because I mean it's you are kind of saying like, hey, like if you buy into this store or you buy this phone, you're only going to be able to download through Apple. Like that's the only place you can get your shit. Yeah. So it's technically anti-consumer. Completely agree. But at the same time, I mean, if you are if you're dumb enough to buy an Apple phone, well, then you're dumb enough to understand that you're going to get locked into that ecosystem. Well, it's the same way with Android. It's the same thing.
At the same time as well, if you're wanting to tap into that untapped market, which is probably millions of users, you have to play nice with Apple. Like that's their ecosystem. You have to play nice with them in order to get that user base, and that's what Tim Sweeney doesn't want. He doesn't want to play nice, and he wants his cake as well.
How about
he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too? You know,
how about he does exactly what Apple did whenever this whole thing fucking came about? Why do you think Apple existed? They made their own fucking phone. Epic, go make a phone. Like.
They tried, man.
Go make a what phone did Epic make?
Why did I disappear?
I don't, because you're talking about Sweeney got you.
Sweeney's getting to me, bro.
Second time.
I'm too big.
Yes, last week Sweeney got to him again. The same thing happened the moment we started talking about Sweeney. He fucking disappeared.
I'm getting there. There we go. Okay. Wait. Hold on.
Now you're so small.
There we go.
Dude, now, you know what popped into my head the moment you said whoa. Now I just see the guy from The Walking Dead go whoa.
Berthel.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, that's that. They're still trying to do it. It looks like, and Epic did Epic what?
Did Epic make a phone?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's what you said.
That's what you just said. I thought you said that. You literally just said. Somebody go back to the VOD and fucking clip it.
For, and
I literally was like, they should just make a phone. You're like, they did. I'm like, they did.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Okay.
Anyway,
moving on.
I understand why these companies have hopped onto the lawsuit. Because
it's
Epic
is able
direct
competition.
If Epic is able to bypass the Apple stuff with this, then they want a piece of the pie as well. So it's not so much that they're in support of Epic in this; it's that they also want to be able to profit from a decision that goes Apple's way or Epic's way.
Yep.
Well, let me explain something. I'm gonna go ahead and give Microsoft and fucking Meta an early Christmas present. Nobody wants to buy shit off your shitty fucking stores. They're crap. I mean, the Meta. I'll give Meta a break. Like your Meta store is okay. Like the Oculus store, not too bad. Microsoft, your fucking storefront is garbage. That thing sucks, man. That is just garbo. I hate having to download anything from the Microsoft store.
Isn't this just more of what Microsoft and Meta, like what they're selling on Apple's storefront?
Well, what this would eventually lead to is them wanting to have their own storefront. They're wanting to be like, hey, like we're not going to be locked into selling through Apple. Because right now, if you want to download, whatever, like let's say something off of like the Game Pass app, right? You couldn't just go to, GamePass.com or whatever and download it from the website or anything like. It directs you back to Apple to then download it from there, which then in turn, Apple charges Microsoft a fee for that to do that. So what they would essentially do would be like, oh, we're just going to make it so you can either download it from our website or download it from our store, and you'd have your own storefront. So
well, that's what Epic was doing when it came down to like them giving you the access to being able to buy V-Bucks or whatever they were through their own in-game store rather than having to buy V-Bucks through Apple's store essentially, and that's what pissed off Apple to the extent that they did what they did, and now we're here.
Still going at it.
Either way,
well, this will continue. This will continue to go on for years. Like when it comes down to litigation and legal like battles like this, we probably won't see a fruition of this until like 2030.
So whenever Siege is done.
Yeah.
They're on the Siege cycle. That's what they're looking at. So
unless eventually one of them gives up and they can't pay their legal battle or their legal fees anymore. So.
Well, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Well, not with Apple.
I don't know. I mean, not with Apple.
Maybe with Epic.
With Epic, maybe.
Who knows? All right. Well, I mentioned about wanting to play Battlefield, the new season, 2042. It's got a lot of hype. It's another game that I think, just like Siege, is on the up and up. And is doing well. It's on the Battlefield cycle. But the reason I haven't is, because if you've been watching anything that has to do with the ALGS, which is the Apex Global Series, which is their competitive scene for esports, you would have heard that there were many streamers that were literally in the middle of playing in this massive tournament, and then all of a sudden wall hacks got turned on, and then aimbot, and then they lost control of their entire character. literally in the middle. Like this group of whoever else was just hacking the shit out of Apex Legends. Well, then it kind of came out there that, oh, like this could be a big possible issue with like easy anti-cheat and that whole system being like you know, a big problem, because it wasn't just that like they could get into your game and hack your game. They actually could get into basically your entire system, right? Like they could download stuff, mess around with things, they could change stuff, they could actually go and talk, you know, add, you know, software to your device. It was a big problem, huge problem, right? Well, the easy anti-cheat, or EAC as we're going to continue to call them, you know, basically came out and said, hey, there's no RCE vulnerability issues within the easy anti-cheat software, like it's good. But then a group came back out and was like, no, like there is definitely still a problem. And this was like right after they came out and said that it wasn't a problem and that they needed to be debunked. So real quick, I'm going to run you through the list of games that this all possibly
Real
affected.
Quick. It's a
real
big
quick
list.
Yeah, it's a big list. So just get ready here. All right, we got 7 Days to Die, Absolver, Albion Online, Apex Legends, Audition Next Level, Battlefield 2042, Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2, Beyond the Wire, Black Clover Quarter Nights, Black Desert Online, Blanco's Block Party, Blazing Saddles, Blazing Sails, Bleeding Edge, Block and Load, Cabal Online, Captain Saba, Card Life, Chivalry 2, Crossout, Cursed FOD, Darkfall, Risen Agon, Darwin Project, Dauntless, Dead by Daylight, Deadside, Dirty Bomb, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dreadnought, Due Process, Dying Light, Bad Blood, Empyrean, Enlisted, Fall Guys, Fear of the Wolves, For Honor, Fortnite, Friday the 13th, Gears 5, H-Hour, World Elite, Halo Master Chief Collection, Heat, Hell Let Loose, Hood Outlaws, Hunt Showdown, Hurt World, Intruder, iRacing, Iron Sight, Jump Force, Last Oasis, Lost Ark, Mars, Memory of Mars, Miscreated, Monstrum 2, Naruto the Boruto, Shinobi Striker, The New Gundam Breaker, New World, One Punch Man, Overstep, Paladins, Pandemic Express. Isn't that a restaurant? Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Postscriptum. Shut up. Predator, Hunting Grounds, Quantum League. I'm almost done. Ragnarok, Realm Royale, Rec Room, Reign of Kings, RF Online, Rising Storm 2, Vietnam, Robocraft, Rocket Arena, Rogue Company, Rust Scum, Sector's Edge, Smite, Space Junkie, Squads, Star Wars Squadrons, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, World Missions, Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullets, Tails Runner, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Tom Clancy's Division 2, Trials Rising, War Rock, War Thunder, Warhammer 40,000, 40K, Eternal Crusade, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Watch Dogs 2, Will to Live Online, Wolf Team Turkey, Worms Rumble, Xera's Survival, and Yul Gang TH. That's the entire fucking list of games. So there you go. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think you missed one, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to them again. All right, here we go. All right.
Back and read them again. Just
all right, 7 Days to Die, Absolver. No,
Jesus, man.
All right. First off, half of do half of these games even? I didn't even know Bleeding Edge was even still playable. Like I didn't even know that was
not
like even a
it's
thing.
Actually not. It's servers are shut down and everything. But hey, if you still have it installed on your system, you're at risk.
Is Fear of the Wolves is out. I don't even think that's a thing. Like anyway, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Like, should people be afraid? Like, I didn't boot up Battlefield 2042 because of this. Do you think people should be afraid of this?
Yeah,
so,
I do.
I mean, I think there's still a risk. We just don't know exactly everything that's at hand right now with it.
So I'll tell you from my own experience, and I have a little bit of experience when it comes to like adminship and everything like that, doing bad back-end stuff and not in fighting against like our RCEs and like all that kind of shit, right? When it comes down to it, the fact of the matter is that in a lot of these games, especially Apex Legends, right, there's millions of people across the world playing Apex Legends. The percentage chance of you being hit by an RCE is about as big of it is about as much of a chance of you getting hit by a small piece of space rock that flew out of space and slapped you in the fucking head, right?
Well,
like,
let me tell you about my last Thursday night, Enigma.
you're at such a small percentage chance of A, being on the game that they're targeting, B, being the player that they actually target, and C, being a target of an RCE that's a malicious target, where they're actually like injecting a virus or something malicious in nature, right? Where they're not just injecting like cheats or anything like that. So that's my only thing. Granted, yes, you should still be worrisome about it. You should still be looking at this, because it is a vulnerability. Like, it is giving people access to your computer that you wouldn't normally have access to, right? Like, you don't want people to have access to your computer that you haven't allowed to have access to your computer. That's a bad thing.
I think it's more of a risk too for content creators specifically.
It is.
They're the ones who are, like you've seen just now, are the ones being targeted. And with RCE, that is, I mean, complete control of your computer at an extent. So they could install, forms of ransomware onto your computer and you know, pretty much screw you over. And if you're a content creator and say you have something that you don't want getting out in the public, that's the biggest thing.
The general player base, you're not going to have to worry about this kind of stuff. Like, again, like I said, the percent chance that you're going to get targeted by this is so slim and null that it's not even worth mentioning.
Those like Apex and like Battlefield, like those huge games. Like,
do you think that the game devs have a responsibility to protect their communities from this kind of stuff?
I do.
Do you think they should be taking more action than what they are?
I think that if it does end up that easy anti-cheat is the reason why, which they've already come out and basically stated, no, that we are not the reason. There is no vulnerabilities in our code, which, take them at their word, I guess. If a lot of people were saying that this is the first tweet that they've tweeted in like 5.5 years or something like that. So, take them at their, but that just to me means that they don't tweet a lot. I don't know how that's really a source of, you should trust them more because they haven't tweeted
anti-cheats tweets. Like, I don't know. It's
but the fact of the matter is that, like, if it isn't easy anti-cheats issue and there's no back-end vulnerability in easy anti-cheat, then 100%, like, these developers that are having like Apex Legends, we talked about it when we were kind of in the pre-lobby for the podcast, right? Like, Apex Legends has never had really great success when it comes to like stopping hackers and that shit. Like, they've always had like a really bad back end for that kind of thing. So I could see it that it might have just been Apex Legends, because I personally haven't heard anything from any other game really. And in this huge list of games, if there was RCEs, you would think that you would have heard something about it by now.
Do you want me to go through the list again? I can go
no,
through it
I
again.
don't want you to go through the list. I'm good.
The only reason I asked that question, though, is because the last time there was an RCE exploit that was in the public eye, it was Bandai Namco and the Souls games, and they took those online servers 100% down.
That was their online servers. That had nothing to do with their anti-cheat.
Yeah, right? But still, there's a vulnerability somewhere, at least as far as Apex Legends goes. Do you feel like EA and the Apex like Respawn are doing enough to protect their community from this kind of
not
thing?
at all. No, EA is basically going to sit there and put it on easy anti-cheat until it's proven otherwise, and then once it is proven that if it does come out that it was EA and Apex Legends, they'll be like, well, sorry, we're gonna try. Sorry.
You want to know what Respawn came out and said and what they're doing? They said, okay, on Sunday, few professional Apex Legends players' accounts were hacked during an ALGS event.
A few.
Game and player security are our highest priorities, which is why we paused the competition to address the issue immediately. Great, good, okay. Our teams have deployed the first of a layered series of updates to protect the Apex Legends player community and create a secure experience for everyone. Thank you for your patience. Respawn.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all they've said. They came out with a very vague message just saying that they're deploying a layered series of updates to protect us. So,
but answer your question.
Like
no, they're not. They're not. And what pisses me off about this whole thing, I will always go back to this. We can put a fucking robot on Mars that can take pictures and send them back. We can send a fucking telescope across the universe and across our galaxy and take fucking images from shit so far away that we've never even fathomed them. You're gonna tell me right now you can't figure out a fucking way to stop hackers and cheaters in your fucking game? My car self-drives itself, but you can't figure out a way to fucking stop a cheater from getting into my shit. Like,
are you saying NASA should be on this?
Sure, man. This is take it to the fucking top, bro. Take this to Elon and Tesla and let them fucking deal with it. I don't know, man.
That's what it sounds like. But no, I agree. It is
annoying.
It's ridiculous. It is.
Like,
I mean,
I don't. It's just like this thing of like, oh, we need an anti-cheat system. Okay, let's go grab Denovu. Well, we know Denovu has issues.
Like, it's dangerous too. It's more than just annoying.
But here's the thing: is that if somebody,
to many,
let's just say yes, it does. It doesn't stop with the ALGS, and maybe it does affect other people, right? If someone does it and gets all their bank information or whatever else, it can ruin their life, right? You think the EA or any of these companies are going to do a thing about it? No, absolutely not. They're not going to bat an eye about it. They're just like they are able to absolve themselves of all risk and just kind of be like, well, we're doing what we can, but like, why was this a thing in the first place? Like, why does this exist? And I understand there's people in chat, they're saying like, hey, like, this isn't that, it's cybersecurity and that there's no perfect defense or lack of vulnerability. And I get that. Right. And I understand that.
I mean, that is true. Yeah. But that is one thing that like your self-driving car for the most part doesn't have somebody constantly attacking it with DDoS attacks, RCE attacks, trying everything in their possibility to get into it on an hourly, if not minute basis.
But I also feel like as we move to a more digital world and a digital frontier, and these games are things that are being always online and all, like, you do have a responsibility as a developer to ensure that your user base is protected. And if any, like, here's what I'll equate it to, right? You guys remember when Samsung had their phones, their like Note 3s or whatever else several years ago that were fucking exploding, right? And they were exploding in people's pockets, right? And all of that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I get it. That's physical harm, but that company was held to a standard by the US government because they were putting their users in known harm, right? But yet this kind of stuff right here, where this is known harm, right? And in serious issues, these companies will never be held accountable. They will not. Like, nobody, like the court systems, nobody's going to ever hold them accountable for this. They can just go out there and be like, oh, my bad, right? And again, I know we're taking it to extremes and saying, oh, that somebody could lose their entire bank account and like all they're doing is just fucking around with the ALGS stuff. But what's to say they weren't going to be malicious, like or malicious, and actually install something that really was detrimental to these people's lives? Like, I just think that it's a very arrogant and also a very nonchalant attitude to kind of take of being like, oh, well, we fixed it, like we're working on a layered system, sorry guys. I don't know, maybe I'm alone in this, but I think this is bullshit.
No, I agree with you on that. I mean,
I'm with it.
Yeah.
And all of these groups.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, to go back on the question of whether or not you should be uninstalling these games and everything, I do think you should until we get more information on what is really at hand here. Because we, like I said, we don't have all of our cards on the table yet. We don't know.
Yeah. And it is sad because there are a lot of games on here that a lot of people do play. Like, again, I mean, you look at just like 7 Days to Die. All right, here we go. 7 Days to Die. No, but like,
I don't know, man. Again, I'm going to put it out there once more that while yes, I do agree with you that like just to cover your ass, dot your T's, whatever, cross your T's, dot your I's, all that shit. Uninstall them if you feel like you are at risk. But again, the chance of you being attacked and or targeted by this type of malicious, software intrusion is so null and void that it's not even worth you.
Yeah, but we can't bitch moan and complain about kernel level anti-cheats, and then whenever a vulnerability does pop up, we're like, yeah, it won't happen to you. Like, that seems hypocritical to me.
Yeah. Well,
it just depends on the user.
I agree,
because there is a chance, there is a risk still, but even if it's very slim and known, but I would uninstall them. That's just my personal take.
I mean, I'm not playing them at least until I know more. Like, but it's okay. It's okay because you know what? I have to be able to play Plunderstorm. We can all go play Plunderstorm. You guys are playing Plunderstorm, right?
I don't even know what that is, my guy.
What the fuck? How do you not know what Plunderstorm is? You've got to know what Plunderstorm is because Plunderstorm is Plunderstorm. It's an amazing game. It's called Plunderstorm. What the fuck?
Biggest
you plunder and you storm.
Like Mighty Quest of Epic Loot 2?
No, it's Plunderstorm. You plunder and storm. Jesus Christ. So Plunderstorm.
I'd rather go on a Mighty Quest for Epic Loot.
Plunderstorm. Oh my God, there are literally, Jesus Christ, Blizzard. You couldn't just do one video. You needed to do 3 of them. All right, let's
This is starting to look like a Extra Life page.
let's oh wow. All right, let's okay, here we go. So Plunderstorm is actually you guys can watch it here. It is a BR for World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So I you go through Athari Basin or Athari Highlands. I don't know if is this a completely separate mode from WoW though? I think, or is it in? Do you have to log in?
I was under the impression it's an in-game
I'm pretty sure it's in WoW.
Right.
It's
So,
a game.
okay,
Like
so it's
in-game queue, like
yeah. So
and it's
Dungeon Finder.
It's a Wrathy, sir. Not
what did I say? Athari?
whatever you said,
Athari.
Athari or something.
Yeah, Arathi. Okay. All y'all can suck my Arathi dick. How about that one? So, in any case,
but yeah,
Arathi,
Plunderstorm. It's a new limited time pirate themed event. Basically inside the game. From what I can tell, I personally haven't played it. It's
Are you going to?
You go to no, I'm not at all. I have no intention of playing this at all whatsoever. 100% no. I'm good.
Sin? You?
What? I actually
You gonna play?
unsubscribed to WoW.
Oh, wow.
So-
The addiction
so-
has been broken.
Yeah,
Blizzard, you don't hold him anymore.
From what I understand, you go across the map, you find abilities, you find upgrades, you find loot, and it's essentially just any other BR that's released in the past 10 15 years.
Oh, those
And
animations
WoW
are funny.
and WoW was like, hey, let's try our hand at a BR. That sounds like fun. That'll be great because everybody wants that.
Yeah, I don't know who I don't know,
this
man.
is this the first MMO we've seen try a BR though? I can't think of it. I don't think there.
I can't think of any other ones, but
Yeah. I
no,
think
no,
this
it's not.
is-
No, it's not. Black
No.
Desert did it. Black Desert did it.
I
And
feel,
they-
yeah, I
they
feel
are
like
an
there's.
MMO.
But
I
to be
feel like they're a bit-
fair, Black Desert
that's-
wasn't an MMO at first because they didn't have dungeons, right?
right.
according to Sam, yeah.
Yeah. But they
I
are an
feel
MMO
like
now.
I feel like there has been other ones that have done this, but
I can't think of
I
Final
just
Fantasy.
don't-
Black Desert is
No,
the
they did
only
a
one that I can
MOBA.
think
Never
of
mind, sorry.
that's done a MOBA, but it was its own separate MOBA. It
BR.
wasn't like a built-in or BBR. I'm sorry. It wasn't its own it was its own separate BR. It wasn't like an in-game event that was
Oh,
ported into the actual game. So
I just don't
I can't personally think of
know.
anything any other game that's done that. I mean, we've seen games like Fallout 76 that did it, where they ported
Right.
in a BR.
or
obviously.
Realm Royale. What's that game? Paladins, right? They did it. That's a hero
no,
shooter
yeah,
that
they
did it.
Yeah, they did it.
But
They do a BR. Okay,
M-
yeah.
yes, but MMOs, I don't think so.
It's just such a weird.
It's weird.
I
It
don't
could
know,
be
man.
fun.
This is
You-
like
you
a-
never
I'm-
know.
I mean, maybe
Yeah,
sure.
I've heard Dragonflight's really
I
good. And it's
guess.
actually like a pretty decent expansion.
okay,
so.
hold on. Dragonflight was good, and then it went downhill very quickly. Like it is not. It is still.
I know.
like-
I know plenty of people that are still having fun with Dragonflight.
yeah, I
By
know
the
a
way,
lot of
th-
people.
just to-
I know a lot of people that still like
This
to do
is
crack,
retail,
but that
right?
doesn't mean that it's a good. No, I'm just kidding.
God,
This is a retail game mode.
this is retail.
No, you
yes.
can play.
Okay,
you can play it.
okay.
You can play it in classic. It's any sub at all.
It's in classic.
Wait,
It's any sub at all. So you can drop in solo or with a friend. I mean, you're reading it right here, but you can. It's either
Earn
it's
rewards in Dragonflight and Classic.
and it says
Okay.
plunge into the challenge battle to earn excellent rewards for Modern Warfare. I think you have to have a sub, and then it's a separate mode. I don't think you have to log into the game to actually get into.
That's what I was confused about. Maybe
Plunderstorm.
not.
Like I think it's its
Yeah.
own. It's its own thing. I don't know.
on
if I-
launch.
let me
thing.
see. Let me launch up the BattleNet launcher and see.
And
Uh,
resub
sure.
real fast. Do you wanna
The
resub and play
I-
it for us real fast?
I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of people that are like, honestly, like it's fun. It's definitely more fun with group and like friends. Which I mean, anything's gonna be more fun with friends. We've talked about that before. Fallout 76 was more enjoyable with friends, according to some people. But I do agree. Why a battle royale? Why a battle royale right now? Like this just feels like a death rattle to me. They're just throwing shit at the board and hoping that it sticks at this point.
Damn, a death rattle. You throwing out the?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I know that WoW has been doing really well ever since whatever the fucking dragon flight, whatever the fuck the last one was called.
Yeah.
That tells you how much I don't give a shit. I have stopped paying attention to WoW ever since BFA. So have fun with that. It just, I don't know, dude. To me, it's like, who asked for this?
Somebody did somewhere, maybe. I don't know.
Was this something that like the entire WoW community was like? They were like, "Hey, what do you guys want?" WoW community, and WoW community
I'm sure
was like,
it was
"BR,
in a survey somewhere.
BR."
I am literally okay. Here we go.
I mean, who asked for like
right.
a lot of BRs? They're just kind of those games now that just pop up and are there. So
I do feel like a BR for a temporary game mode is better than them trying to like market a BR like as a solo game type.
Is this
thing.
temporary? Is this not like a permanent thing?
No, this is not a permanent thing.
It's a limited time.
Okay.
I think for a temporary event, it's fine. And I mean, don't knock it till you try it. I guess I don't personally like BRs, but I'm sure they had some sort of survey data out there that.
I bet you it won't. I bet you it won't stay as a limited. I guarantee you, if it's somewhat popular, it will get it. It will be a permanent thing.
I was gonna say they could just be using this as a test and saying it's just a temporary game mode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This to me is just like a really poor.
It's just weird, man. It's weird.
Decision,
I've
man.
watched
like,
it play too.
I don't see this. I don't see this bringing people back as subscribers, at least not long term.
No.
What if they're doing the Rainbow Six Siege thing where they you know how Siege kind of had that extraction game mode before Extraction actually came out? Maybe they're testing the waters for a BR, a WoW BR like solo game, and this is the test bed.
Yeah, I don't see.
I mean,
like,
if they are, I think it's a poor waste of resources. We're seeing some people in chat that are stating the same thing, that like it's a waste of resources, and I do agree with that. Like if this is the way that they want to go, a lot of people were bitching and complaining about like the state of WoW, or were at least before Dragonflight. Like put your efforts and put your focus into making the next expansion as good, if not better than Dragonflight.
I also think if they did do something like that, they're going, like, people are going to play this, and if they were going to try and split it off into its own thing, I think people would just still rather play it inside WoW rather than have to go and play it, externally with a new game, pretty much.
Yep.
Well, and that's the other thing, is like you have to pay $15 a month to play this.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, if you've already got a WoW subscription and you're playing the game anyway, this is a nice little bonus. I don't see it as any more than just like a bonus.
But the whole point would be, I mean, obviously I don't know what their whole point of making it is, but in my eyes, the point of making it would be to entice people back to their original game, which is World of Warcraft, right? You're trying to entice people back. This isn't going to entice me back to World of Warcraft to spend $15 a month for multiple months.
I just don't know why they didn't go like if they're going to do this, do that throughout like of Warcraft Rumble, like where I still play Warcraft Rumble on my phone.
They have multiple. They have multiple instances of games that aren't tied behind a World of Warcraft subscription. If they wanted to do this, they should have released it as a free to play separate instance.
I also just feel like they're so behind the times with this. Like BRs are on their way out.
BRs are done, dude. Like it's such a weird, and that's what I'm trying to state.
Shooters.
That's what I was trying to state earlier.
That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get WoW Escape from
it'll be built off
Arathi.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier. It's like it just feels like such a weird move this point in time.
Yeah,
like it really does feel like an out of touch move. Like they're still sitting in 2015.
They're just pulling shit out of their reserve. They
are. They're still mentally in 2015 when BRs were still a thing, right?
So, they put this in the bag like in 2015, and they just scrambled it around and pulled it out. Like, I guess why
not? I want to clear up something too that chat's saying. We're not saying that WoW is inherently bad, or we're not saying that WoW. What we're saying is that this game mode doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of what WoW is trying to do, or if like I get like you're making a fan service kind of thing, like, hey, like we're gonna do this event and whatever else, but you like
Well,
you're like your expansion right now is in a lull, right? Because you're coming to the end of your expansion, you're about to launch into your new expansion. Like, so in this time frame, you are wanting to make sure you keep as many people active. And I think what we are trying to say is, like, instead of putting resources into this event of whatever this BR thing is, why not put it into things that are way more, compelling and bigger and more enjoyable. Assad's not in the great spot, in the greatest spot that it is right now. Like, that needs help drastically.
Also, just to address really quickly, like one person saying, I'm not sure the BR is meant to pull people in. It's just an event for players to enjoy. Then the only thing that I have to say against that is, like, it's a limited time event locked behind a subscription. FOMO is going to hit you. People are going to want to be there to play it. Like, they are using it as a way of getting subscriptions back. That is factual.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we're not saying that you should feel bad that you're playing it or anything like that. Like, 100%. Enjoy the mode.
If you're enjoying WoW and you like this, have fun at it. Like, 100%. I'm not stating that you shouldn't play it. I'm not stating you shouldn't play WoW. If you enjoy WoW,
let's
have
just
at
stop
it.
arguing in chat and move on.
I'm sorry, Bill. Are we making you upset?
We're
having a conversation. Sorry. I'm aware you don't like WoW all that much, but
no,
sorry,
but I'm the only one trying to be somewhat.
We had a
positive
conversation about
this.
World of Warcraft. Sorry, man. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about Pal World. How about that? We can talk about another game that is. Wait, I'm on the new stuff still. I wanted to make sure that I was cut right. Pal World teases huge improvement coming in future updates. Are they actually improving it to where you can make your pals first off, look at this poor guy. Look at this poor dude right here. Like, smiling, grimacing, super happy, just had a miserable fucking Monday, man. This is just not where he wants to be. That is just the end of the road for him.
No, they're teasing improvements. Like Scruffy and I have been talking about this the entire time. Scruffy had mentioned it before, right, where he felt that it needed like a really specific management system, and I've been saying that same thing as well, where it's like they need to have some way of making it so that pals are not just like doing random shit. And I think that was the same thing that you said, right, Scruff?
Exactly. Yeah. Something out of like the actual like game, like just a screen to like assign pals to, essentially, is what I said. Something like, if you've ever played like Oxygen Not Included, they have that, it's just an assignment screen where you just go through all of your pals that are currently on the job and just say, hey, you do this, you do this, you do that. Something better than the system where they have of you just picking up a pal and tossing it at a job, and it might stick or it might go off and fuck off, like, so wow, that's all I asked for.
Have you guys, this is what they're looking at, like getting base management upgrade. Like, that
screen right there is exactly how I imagined it. And
this is very akin to a management system like in games like
RimWorld. I think
RimWorld. I was blanking on it. Like RimWorld, Going Medieval, a lot of those like colony management sims and everything like that. And it's so simplistic, but it does it so well, right?
And it's something that should have been there from the start, man. This
really should have.
This would have solved so many issues that we had. Besides the collision, they need this in
Didn't they work on the collision as well?
They have worked on the collision. Yeah, they from everything that I've heard from friends that played it after that separate updates, collision is a lot better when it comes down to like
both of those working
aspects
in conjunction. Then you should have a well-oiled machine of a base with these pals now.
I hope so, man.
You mean well-oiled pals?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to be oil.
Can you oil up your pals?
What are you doing over there with those lizard women?
Hey man, I like to oil up I like to, sometimes me and the pals get together, we throw back some brewskis and we get a little oiled up. What are you gonna do? I'm just saying.
What you do on your Saturday nights?
Hey, you never know. Look, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Have they said when this update's looking to go live?
I don't think that they've mentioned a date for live. So. They did mention that this is coming alongside their very first like raid battle as well, which is going to be pretty big.
That's nice.
So that's gonna be interesting to see how they handle that, because their boss battles are actually relatively. I mean, they're nothing huge, like, right? They're nothing to like
are they,
very,
would you
very
say they're
big,
Dark
right?
Souls-esque?
They are not Dark Souls-esque, no.
Oh my god.
But they're you know, they're there at least. So I'm hoping to see something a little bit better than their current boss battles.
I want some
terms of
world
like
boss tier.
You know what's gonna pull me back
raids.
in? I am waiting. I'm eagerly waiting for the PvP. I want to be able to. I want to be able to make my fellow
PvP as in like
my fellow PAL players to feel like this PAL right here, just to have that look of distaste. So
do you want PvP as in like PAL battles, or like actual like sending out PALs while also fighting the other player like with guns and shit? What do you want?
I want Plunderstorm, where I'm gonna have a BR where I'm a PAL and I come in and I have machine guns. But no,
is that what you want?
I don't care. I just want like I think the game is set for. I don't want like I don't think the PvP is gonna be Pokemon like style, because I just think that would be weird. Like I don't know. I don't know how you would do PvP, but you know, they said it's going to be in it. They said they're going to do something with it. So
they do want to do
something.
PvP. Yes.
I imagine
from what I understand,
arenas.
it's going to be like arenas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
I think. Well, like
it'll just
like
you'll have
battle,
specific you'll have specific areas inside the world where you can go for arena battles.
Yeah.
Or they'll have something along the lines of like being able to build your own arena battle, or like a flagging system.
So you don't think it'll go like Arc? Like, because some people in chat are saying it could possibly go like the Arc route.
I'm wondering, like,
I hope it doesn't, personally, but that's just my opinion.
It might be something where they like give you like an option to run a server like that, and flag kind of. But
to me, I hope it doesn't go down that route. Just simply because I think for PvP they need to focus more along the lines of like, if they want to go down the route of like a Pokemon-esque, a Pokemon Souls, right? If they want to go down that route, they should go down the route of PvP isn't like player versus player; it's player PAL versus player.
The only thing is, I wonder, like, what would you get out of that other than just a fight?
The sheer satisfaction of fucking owning your own man,
like
fellow man, not own man, fellow man. That came out wrong. Don't own your own man, own your fellow man.
Wow. I mean, you know, they do a way to capture the NPCs, so you know, you never know.
Oh my god,
that's just what I'm thinking.
Fucking amazing. Wait, take it back. You should be able to do that. You should be able to get into a PvP battle, and then I can
capture people.
No, I'm not. Nope, never mind.
We're going down a dark route.
Rash that idea.
Yep.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I don't know. I don't think they said any dingle. I don't think
any dingle.
I thought you said any dingle. They said when this is going live, but you know what? Honestly, I love the developer for PAL World. We talked about them before, and just like they're kind of like, hey, you know what? We want you to play other games. You should go play other games. And then when we bring out some updates, come back and play ours. When we hope that you do. But if you don't, enjoy. Thanks for playing and enjoy the games. You know, so really love the developer behind this. You know, so keep up the great work. We got a game that I don't know whether or not to be excited about or to like. I've been so burned behind my superhero games, man. Like I just can't. Can I do it? Do you think I can do another one? You think I could actually like?
I don't know.
This one might be the one.
This one
is
would
going to
be
be the one that
to
you
do
give
it.
up on. That's going to be actually good.
This is
one
going to
might
be
have
the
furry.
one.
I think it does have a furry in it.
Because this is being made by the same
Sim.
people that make Uncharted, I believe, right? The same group.
Are you talking about Naughty Dog?
I don't know what my screen looks like right now.
No, I think it's the same. It's
that would
like
be
Skylance or something like
Uncharted.
that. But I think it's like the same director or something like that made Uncharted. Let me go and check.
Maybe, I don't know. But as long as this one isn't a dating sim, right?
No.
You don't
Do
need
you
another
know?
one
Do
of
you
those.
know that so many people talk so highly of that game, of Midnight
I
Suns?
mean, it's
Of
a good
Black-
game.
Midnight Suns.
I mean, it's a great game except for the dating bullshit. If I could get that game and somehow just skip through all that crap, I would. I would love
can
it.
you not? Is it
No,
actually like
you have
shoehorned
to
into
fucking
like the plot of the game?
You have to do it. You have
Okay,
to.
I'm
do
sorry. It's not being made by the same developers. It's being made by Amy Henning and her Skydance new media studio, which those are the people that apparently made the story for Uncharted. So
Yeah, I don't. I have mixed feelings between Amy Henning. She gives me.
Yeah.
I know you guys are gonna give me some bullshit, but I'm dead serious. She gives me very A24 vibes. Like,
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but she does.
It's
Anyway.
all A24 to say.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, this is like what we're talking about is Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This is a game that essentially is Cap versus, or not versus Black Panther, but Cap and Black Panther, World War II, or post World War II, I guess technically. No, it's in the middle of World War II. So, going through and you're basically just battling it out and fighting it out. This is not a live. I don't think this is a live service, right? No one said anything about live service on this.
We have no idea. This is literally all that we know is that they
looks like it's a story play single player.
Yeah,
like just from
It
the
looks-
trailer, but
Right.
the trailers could be misleading. So
We also haven't got any like actual gameplay of it, right?
That's
all of it
that's what I'm
was
saying.
cinematic.
We know absolutely nothing other than this,
Which is
we got a
crazy because there's
cinematic
like
thing.
so many journalists out there saying like this is the best graphics like ever, like these graphics are going crazy in this game, but it's like it's cinematic.
I mean, it is. I mean, the cinematics are pretty.
Good.
Like they
I'm
are
not
very
saying they're
pretty,
not,
yeah.
but like I'm just saying like let's wait till we see the game first.
No, I agree.
Fellas.
it's in Unreal Engine 5, so it is going to look good.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, but I agree with Celia. A member in our chat, kind of saying like I've pretty much given up on superhero media, and
Yeah,
this
unfortunately.
this does look interesting. This comes off the heels of Marvel canceling a massive amount of movies and titles and shows, which I'm very happy about. Like, focus it in. But I also, like I said, like I am gonna go back and play Suicide Squad on the 28th when the new stuff comes out. I'm really hoping that it's gonna be good, but like I've just been burned. And I should have known
Is that
better.
when Joker comes out?
Yep, when Joker comes out, I should have been known. I got burned by Avengers, and I've yet to see if I'm going to get burned by, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get burned by Suicide Squad. And
You've already been burned by Suicide Squad. What are you talking about?
I have hope. I have hope. But I don't know. I mean, if this is a single player experience, then again, maybe like I really loved Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was a great game.
Yeah, I think that game is actually done pretty well.
So hopefully this will maybe stand in that same light, because
I think it will, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a good comparison for it. I think it's probably going to be something along those lines. Maybe not gameplay wise, but more like focusing on narrative and like single player combat.
I really think that's where like these kinds of games do thrive, because I mean they're based off of a lot of movies and whatnot, and I think they're just more cinematic experiences than they're trying to make them into like these MMOs and beat 'em ups and stuff. I really do think where these games should lie.
Yeah. And again, I mean, we also had Spider-Man, wild success as well. So do you think that they picked the right characters for this? Like, obviously I know the setting, Marvel 1943, you have to have Captain America, but I mean, do you think that
It's a
this
pretty
is
cool setting?
Like these two characters are the best kind of picked? Like I somewhat feel like the world is kind of Captain America out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've kind of really overdone Captain America quite a bit. So I'm wondering if like, I love Black Panther because I don't think we've seen enough of like his play style, his like whole arc. But I don't know. I feel like you could have done other characters that actually would have been more important.
Isn't Captain America like the most important one when it comes to Hydra though?
When it comes to Hydra, yeah. I mean that is the thing, but they also could have gone like down Captain Britain, down that arc. I think it would have been dope to actually play on the opposite side. Play on like
play Hydra.
Yeah, play Hydra, play Skull, like play the Red Skull. Like that would be dope. Like play Zemo, you know what I mean? Like play those kind of characters. That'd be really cool, but I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. Captain America is probably going to sell just because it's Captain America and Black Panther. So that's why they did that. Honestly,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to see it. I like the way that I like how they portray Black Panther in this one to an extent. I think that it has just enough Boseman in it, but it also has just enough uniqueness that it's not like they're not trying to go down the route of like that Black Panther from the MCU, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
All right. Well, let's talk about sharing experiences, and how about family share? I am actually so stoked for this. I am so
I
happy that they're
figured you
bringing
would be. That's why I
that they're
posted it. Yeah.
that they're fucking bringing this back. I thought it was so dumb that like they kind of got rid of I mean, they didn't get rid of it, but like they definitely like
They limited it.
they
and,
limited
like,
it down to like
yeah.
complete nothingness. So what we're talking about is Valve is introducing the new Steam family game sharing program. Essentially, before they had like a family share program, but it was like they
You had,
at
like,
first,
link accounts, right? Like,
yeah,
it was,
so you
it
had
was
to
really
have
weird and kind of hard to do in the first place.
you had to go on both PCs and log in with both accounts,
Yeah.
and then you had to make one a master account, and then you had to
Yep.
link the other one to that master account, and then if the other person was online at the same time that you were online trying to play something, it would kick the other
Trying to
person off.
play- Yeah.
Right. So now what
It
they
was
have
a
done
mess.
is they have allowed you to be able to connect multiple different accounts and be able to play at the exact same time, which is again huge, right? Like my
Can you
son
play
is
the same game at the same time?
you cannot play the same game at the same time, but you can
Okay.
play you can play different games. Which I agree with.
That
I don't
I understand because that would effectively reduce like
That would be like game sharing at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
with you could do that with anybody then. You know?
Right. But you can have while playing a game that a family member owns, you will create your own save files, you earn your own achievements, you have access to the workshop files amongst other features. When you purchase a game, it still remains in your ownership and only appears in your library, as well as all of your save files and stuff transfers over. So that's really great. There are certain games that also have to be eligible, so it's not just like all games are eligible for this. They do include Helldivers 2, Baldur's Gate, Balatro. By the way, oh my god, I talked about Balatro a little bit before. That game is addicting as shit, and you should go play Balatro if you like.
And it's back now, right?
If you like,
they
yeah,
got past
yeah, they
it,
brought
right?
it back. They brought it back.
Yeah.
Coming out with a mobile version here fairly shortly too.
Thank God they should, because
Which
that
we
is
said,
awesome.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring is on there, Hogwarts Legacy is on there. Let me get the full list here. Nope, I'm not doing
We don't
this.
need to read the full
I am
list.
not
We're-
doing
we're
that.
full
Not
list.
doing that.
We don't need the full list.
There's a lot of good games on that list.
If you want to go see the games, go to the Game Informer, look it up. You can look at the games yourself.
Let's
I was
see.
kind of curious, but
So, I mean, I'll go through it. No, I'm just kidding. Members can leave Steam family at any time. However, that person will have to wait 1 year before creating or joining a new family. So just keep that in mind. That is a long
Holy
time.
shit!
That
That is a huge amount of time. Holy hell!
Well, that's about the same amount of time that it takes to adopt a kid. So I get that. I understand that
It's
one.
true.
Additionally, vacant. I don't know how I've survived the internet. Additionally, vacant family slots cannot be filled for 1 year. Family members can also kick other members out. That would be great.
dang.
That's how I'm gonna punish my kid. Be like,
Disowning.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You think you're hot shit? Watch this. Boop. Now you don't have any games. Yeah. You also can. Members can copy. Let's see. You can change which Steam family members' copy of games you play. Though if one has different DLC, obviously that will cause some issues. But anyway, I mean, again, this is a really great thing. Like I am super stoked about
It's
this.
huge.
Yeah.
Super stoked about this.
Steam's family share has been archaic as shit for the longest time, and like you said, it has not been very beneficial and or easy to access for families for a long time. So it's good to have the ability to do it a lot easier, and also, like you said, being able to play at the same time without being kicked off. That made no sense to me as well. When you brought it up that when your kid popped on, it would kick him, or when you popped on, it would kick your kid off. Stuff. I'm just like,
it gives you
Yeah.
a warning.
what?
It's
Up.
like
It makes
Yeah,
no
you
fucking
got like
sense.
5-10 minutes.
5 minutes to log off, or we're kicking you off.
But I'm in the
Absolutely
middle of
no
my
sense,
Souls-like game. Damn it.
I think this is it's probably due a lot to the Steam Deck being as popular as it is, and probably there
Probably.
being more
Yeah.
like
for sure.
Steam gaming interfaces in a household now.
Yeah, you can have up to 6 total family members, which is a lot. I mean, that is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a
They
fuck
s-
ton.
They still have to be within the household, so you can't I can't add Scruffy to
Yeah,
my
it has to
family
be on the
share.
same
Dang
network.
it.
You
Because
got to be in the same network.
I'm one of Sin's sons.
You are one of my kids. I will say that, but yeah, you can't. They
Does it
have
like detect
to
on LAN? It has to be on
be.
LAN
Yeah,
from
it's
the home account.
it's
Yeah.
detected through the internet, through the
Through
network.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, through
Yeah.
your
Okay.
network and stuff like that. So, um, But either
fair.
way, I mean, that's still awesome. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. I think that's a great thing. So kudos to.
It's very, very consumer based, so it's good.
Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about a thing that's I don't know how to feel. I'm interested to see how you guys feel. So we talked about MMOs, and there's an MMO that at least I was super excited for. I don't know if I'm still super excited for, but Riot's new MMO has decided to reset the direction of the game, and the team is going dark under a new boss.
This is what it stemmed from. I didn't know about the new boss part
Yes.
about
Yeah.
this.
They're rebuilding it from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Riot actually just came out and kind of I think we talked about this last week if I'm not mistaken, but again, it kind of came out and was like, "Hey, we are resetting a whole bunch of shit."
Yeah.
And so this is one of them. They just went through a bunch of layoffs and closures too. Some of their stuff is getting shifted. So and this was again one of the things that we were kind of like eyeballing because, again, give it to us to predict the future, but we were like, that's really weird. The Riot's MMO's not on that list. And then all of a sudden now this is there. So, what's your guys' take on this? I mean, I think it can be good. I think it can be bad. Like,
I mean, I think it's a good thing in the instance of like any game these days that is like really, really vocal about like what their development, everything like that. While it's great for engagement with the player base, you start building up towards like Cyberpunk, right? Where it was overhyped, underdeveloped, or underperformed, right? So it's one of those instances where I think that going dark is probably the best option for them because they can just put their heads down and actually get to work with it.
To be fair, too, like we weren't gonna see this game for a good few years, anyways.
It's an MMO. I would have been surprised to see it within 6 years, honestly, but that's me.
Me too. Honestly, the Rainbow Six time.
The bad side of it, I am extremely worried about the fact that like they're this early in development and they're already shifting bosses. That's not a good sign, right? Like that's a really bad sign. And when it comes down to it, I'm really hoping that it doesn't turn into a development hell.
Yeah.
That's what worries me.
Look at what happened in New World, right? New World went through the same thing.
New World,
that new one that's coming out too did the same thing. The one that you're excited for. So
there's been several
Ashes of
games
Creation.
No. The one that was like a idle game before, then it turned into a action combat.
Oh, Throne and Liberty.
Throne and Liberty. Yeah, they did the same thing.
Yep.
So,
but that's my biggest worry
though.
right there is just like it going into development hell, and then eventually it just continues to cycle through developers.
Right.
Bloodlands 2 is doing that right now. They've been in development hell recently just because again they're cycling through higher ups, they're cycling through bosses, they're cycling through developers. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see the direction that this game goes, depending on who the boss is and who the developers are.
What was that game Bill that you were playing that Square Enix did, and it went through? Didn't it go through something similar to this? I don't know if it went through a lot of resets.
Forspoken and Forspoken, it went through 2 resets. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always the worst thing. It's just as long as like Enigma.
As long as enough time is given to the new project, because what ends up happening and what happened with Forspoken was it resets halfway through development and they didn't extend the development time because they had the Sony contract. So
I mean,
as long as it's given enough time to rebuild and actually like flesh out, I see no problem with it.
Final Fantasy 14 go through a whole rehaul like in the early stages.
Final Fantasy went through a fucking destroy the world.
The biggest
the fucking game.
Rehauls of a game ever.
They didn't
and now look at it,
Yeah, they didn't. Hold on, but well, to be clear, they reset that game after it launched. They were like,
no, I know.
To be fair, they also have a development team that is specifically up until which one did they develop recently? Was it 16? That Yoshida did.
Yeah.
Or that Yoshi P did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up until recently, that was literally the only thing that they ever worked on was Final Fantasy 14, pretty much.
Right.
So that like they are them specifically are like the unicorn of development pretty much.
Yeah,
So
it was a miracle
we
that
can
game
only
came out
hope.
on top.
I mean-
We can only hope that that's the kind of treatment that the
Did any of
Riot
you
MMO
guys
does.
play that game before it
Yeah.
No,
went?
I only heard about it.
I did not play it.
I did.
I played after A Realm Reborn, but like right after A Realm
I
Reborn. But
did.
I know for a fact that it was terrible.
I
Yeah.
played
That's
that
just what I heard,
game
yeah.
before it was. I paid for my pre-order. I fucking waited in line.
Yep.
I logged in, and then I was like, "What the fuck
That you
is
just got
this shit?"
shit on.
Yeah, and
So
I was like,
the
"All right,
only
So maybe that's
The
a bit of
only-
an extreme, but still, like, there is hope still at this point in the game. We don't know totally. It all
Yeah, the
depends
only-
on the direction it is going.
the only thing that this thing really has like going for it that's like a solid, right, is they already have the war done.
Right. I mean,
So
they have
that's an
all of their
entire-
cards in check.
we've talked about this in the past where like they are at the precipice of like what the World of Warcraft was when it first started being developed, right? When World of Warcraft first started being developed, they had years and years and years worth of lore pre-established. Now that this is being developed, they now have years and years and years and years worth of lore already
Oh, yeah.
developed to pull off of, and they just have to pull off of it. So
I mean, I'll so here's exactly what was said, right? So Meryl, which is he's Tyrandamir on X, he goes, resetting our development path also means we'll be going dark for a long time, like several years. The silence will help provide space for the team to focus on the incredible amount of work ahead of them. We understand the excitement and anticipation that surrounds new information, but we ask for your trust during the silent phase. He also said, "Hey, y'all, we know many of you are hungry for news about the Riot Games MMO project. We really appreciate your patience and the incredible support you've shown for us so far. I'm writing to update you today on where we're at. And before anybody panics, yes, we are still working on the game. # League of Legends." He went on to kind of say more and more and more, but you know, and he introduced the new executive producer of the game or whatever else. So I mean, I hope that the game still comes out, and I do believe that like Riot will give enough leeway. Like if this was Amazon, I'd be like, oh, we're all fucked. You know, but I will give them hope that there's enough leeway that they will say, hey, this is going to be a moneymaker. You know, and we are going to give you the time that you need to develop this. But I don't know. I mean, here's to hoping. So on that one. All right. Let's talk about Dragon's Dogma a little bit. So you guys excited about Dragon's Dogma 2? I mean, I know me and
I want to be. I've never played the first, and I don't want to. I don't know.
Well,
I don't want to soil. I want to play that first. I've been meaning to.
You'll be okay, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any connections between the two.
Oh, really?
Or if there are, it's at least
It's just,
explained
like,
out so
very
that you're not going to be
minimal.
left behind.
Okay.
So this is one of the things that was out there was that the game was going to be capped at 30 FPS across all. That is not correct. It is uncapped for PC. Is it still capped for console, or no? Or is consoles it's uncapped?
It's not capped it's uncapped period. Consoles
Really?
are just going to be sitting around the 30 FPS mark, sometimes dipping lower, but they say it should have a benefit for performance up to 60 FPS. A lot of the technical tests that I've seen, it does sit roughly around the 30 to 40 mark. And with some combat and stuff
We lost Enigma.
and in some big cities, it drops into the 20s.
He's in the corner.
So
Sorry.
is that even on performance mode? It's still dropping into those numbers, or is that just for the?
Yeah, that's even in performance mode.
Okay, but just don't look at NPCs though, because did you guys hear about that?
No,
Mm-mm.
wait, what?
Yeah, so people are dropping frames looking at NPCs in the game.
Well, that just tells you that's why you should do what I would do and just murder them all.
That's exactly. There's a meme going around. It's
Yeah.
like
Murder the village.
weight, the balance between should I kill this guy to get 15 more frames?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You should. Oh my gosh.
It's kind of funny, but that's a problem they're
Billy,
trying
are you
to
gonna-
fix right now.
Are you gonna jump into this game? I feel like
Sin would 100% do that, considering how many NPCs he killed in the starting of
I
Baldur's
am
Gate
going to do it
he killed entire
100%.
civilizations.
But Bill, you gonna jump into to some Dragon's Dogma?
I will eventually. I have a lot that I'm playing through currently, and this one, while I think it is going to do extremely well, and I still think it has a really good chance of being Game of the Year, I'm not overly excited to jump into it for some reason. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched some gameplay of it. It looks good. I wish it had some form of co-op to it. I think I would enjoy it more then, because this really looks like a game that would benefit from co-op. The pawn system, while it's cool, is kind of meh to me. But yeah, I'll get into it eventually. It's got Souls-like in the gaming journo tab. So
Of course, yeah.
I have I thought the same thing. Like I at first was like, absolutely not. It doesn't have co-op. I don't want to jump into it. I want my multiplayer experience. It also has story, so that's a big knock. But the more and more that I have watched it, the more and more I'm like, okay. And I did actually do a lot of research on the pawn system, and I never really got into the whole pawn system before, like in the first one. But what I've heard about here is like, it's like they do, and I don't know, Enigma, you played the first one pretty heavily, yeah?
I did. Yeah,
okay,
I played almost all the way through it. I
so in the first one, did your pawns, like, I know that you could create a connected pawn, or your pawn could go into other people's world, but I don't think that it was like where
you could. So pawns weren't like it wasn't a co-op. It was just like when it came down to doing things in the open world, you could go and summon your friends' pawns and have your friends' pawns.
But
so like, depending on how that's what I was about to say, is like, so depending on how far your friend had got in the game, their pawn would be higher level and be able to help you a little bit more than like a base pawn would be.
Would your pawn be able to leave,
as far as I can
then
remember,
come back, and like they would then come back into your world more leveled up and have different, have more gear and things? So in that, all of
the things, everything in the old one was whatever your pawn did over there, that was on them. Whatever you do over on your side, that's on you.
That's what turned me on, Bill, to the pawn system here. Because
is that not how it is in this one?
No. So your pawns, actually, you create your pawns, and then your pawns can go out into other people's worlds, and they level up, and they can.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
They can get gear, and they can get shit, and then they can come back into your world.
That's got to be an optional thing, though, right?
I don't know. I mean, I plan on playing it after the podcast. I have no fucking clue. I'm just
like, you can't just like pull your friend's pawn into your world and like boost him, and
that would be that. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That would be extremely interesting to see how that would work when it comes down to like somebody pulling a lower level pawn into a higher level campaign.
Because at that point, that's kind of like idle game. I
wouldn't say idle game, but I would definitely say like power leveling in a way.
You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, I don't feel like playing this game. Can you go and level my character up? I'm not. Well, I'm AFK.
I don't know.
Maybe.
The pawn system has always been an interesting system to me, just for the instance of like it was the only the only form of co-op in Dragon's Dogma, really, right? That was up until the mod came out, obviously, yeah. So I'm curious to see like how much that would do. I'm wondering if it's not going to be like gear and stuff, but you'll get like currency instead.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious
if that's going to be the case, like currency and XP of some sort.
The more I researched on this, because again, I think I had the conversation on the show where I was like, I don't give a shit about Dragon's Dogma 2. Actually, I think I know for a fact I said that whenever we saw the trailer for it. I was like, I don't give a fuck about Dragon's Dogma 2.
When we first saw it, you were like, this game looks like shit.
I don't think I said it looks like shit. I just said I don't care about this game.
It sounds like something you would say.
Of course it sounds like something I would say, but I am very excited to kind of jump into it. And again, next week, if you guys want to hear our full like breakdown of Dragon's Dogma 2, come by next week, because that is going to be a very Dragon's Dogma 2.
It'll be a bigger
Dragon.
It'll be a better it'll be a better rendition of it.
It's a battle.
A battle. I can't speak tonight for some reason. It'll be a better review of it as well, because like tonight we would have literally only had like an hour if that, worth of gameplay. So
Yep.
I'm going to try and get as far into it as possible. I'm going to pretty much do nothing but Dragon's Dogma and maybe
and
a little bit.
can you just take my character and,
Yeah,
and
sure. I'm just gonna
have
take
it
your
at
call.
this level
Yeah,
I'll play it for you.
I got you.
Thanks,
I'll play it
guys.
for you. All right. Well, it is that time of the evening where we go through our quick hits. This is, again, if you're new to the show, where we go over articles and news that not necessarily is something we want to spend a whole amount of long time.
Wait, Dragon's Dogma. I still have something to talk about. I'm sorry. Did we want to talk about the Denovu bullshit as well, or no? Or do we want to save that for next week?
Save it for next week.
They are okay. We'll talk about it next week.
We'll save it.
All right. Once again, one of my segments has been fucking interrupted in the middle of it.
Wait.
So,
I think we have a list we have to read of something, right?
You know what?
A list of games.
You know what? For the that is going to make an amazing fucking short. I'm gonna call it right now. That short is gonna be amazing.
That's not gonna be a short. That's gonna be
not a short.
video.
That was that was like 20 minutes worth.
You like fast forward it. You know all that kind of stuff. Anyway, all right. So quick hits are things that we talk about that are not necessarily talk about worthy. So, Ark, the animated series, releases on Paramount Plus. Still no word on Ark 2. Oh, it launched today. Okay. Well, you get it. If you like Ark, there's a cartoon you can watch on Paramount Plus too.
Honestly, the animation did look kind of fun.
We are not supposed to talk about this. It's just supposed to be a quick hit.
I literally said one fucking thing. Move on. You spent more time fucking get out of here, bro.
All right. PlayStation Portal is February's best-selling game accessory. Was there another accessory that came out?
Yeah.
It's like compared
bullshit.
to like controllers and like VR headsets and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Well, you mentioned the PlayStation VR because PlayStation has actually halted the PSVR 2 due to high inventory. Essentially,
yeah, they're not selling
them.
them.
Not selling.
Nobody's buying them. Yeah.
I'm really telling you, man, if they would just fucking launch that damn thing on PC for PC compatibility, it would sell.
I think once the PC compatibility gets finalized, because they are working on it.
I thought it was already finalized. I thought
it's not there yet. They're working on it. They hope to have it by the end of the year.
I still think that that's what I was about to say. I still think that they really need to drop the price a little bit to be in contention with like the Meta Quest, but
I don't know if they need to go that low, but I definitely do think that. I think knocking maybe 50 to 100 bucks.
Knocking it, yeah. I'm just saying knocking the price down to be in contention, not be at the same price level, but to be in contention with them in that same range.
Yep. The PS5 Pro aims to support 4K 120 and 8K 60. We continue to see different photos of what this thing looks like. If I were to buy a PlayStation, this would be the one I will jump into. That's a big if. Fighting game legend Broly Legs passes. Who is? I don't know. I apologize. I don't know who this is.
He's a Street Fighter and had a small stint in Smash Bros. He was actually one of the best Chun-Li players in the world for a long time. And he is also fully quadriplegic. So he actually played competitively and was winning tournaments by playing with like his cheek and his tongue and his like mouth.
Damn.
Like playing on the controller, like
legend,
like held up there.
Legend.
So
that is, that's too bad.
The world loses another legend, and we send our condolences to the families and fans for Broly Legs as well. And then last but not least, legendary composer Yoko Shimomura has confirmed.
Pretty good.
She is currently working on a soundtrack. Nope. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
For what?
Nothing.
Soundtrack for what?
God bless it. For Kingdom Hearts 4. God bless.
Let's go.
When will this game just die and go away? Nobody cares.
I can't wait for the day that they come out with an A24 movie of Kingdom Hearts.
They will. They absolutely will. Fuck bags. Anyway.
I'm going to buy you a ticket. We're going to go see that at the movie theater, right, Sin?
No, I refuse it. I refuse to go see it. All right, everybody. Well, that is episode 116 in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had a huge amount of stuff to talk about, and I am very proud of the fact that we got through all of it. It was a very long list on the dots. Like I said, I will be streaming right after this. I'm going to boot up Dragon's Dogma, so I will be doing a stream. If you want to go and see that, you're more than welcome to kind of jump in there. for a little bit. Bill, what you got going on? I know you're still doing the Final Fantasy VII stuff, or you bounced into something different now.
I'm planning on doing Persona 5 over the weekend for my birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Charity
Your birthday
stream type thing.
Yeah.
So
shout that out.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Shout it out, man.
You sure?
Shout it
Yeah,
out.
birthday charity stream this weekend on my channel.
Let's go. Go support
Yeah.
our boy Bill.
Watch
There you
Persona
go.
5 and support the American Foundation.
It'll be a good time. They
Suicide
always
prevention.
are.
You can
Hell
get
yeah.
him to. We're trying to get him to like wax his entire chest and like do all these crazy things. So
I'm trying to get him to stream in a pair of green screen booty shorts for you guys.
Well, I mean, there's a Uwu Catgirl maid outfit at the top dollar amount. So
nice.
Oh,
So are
Nice.
we saying some green screen panties instead? Because
Are pictures
you know.
allowed?
Can,
sure. I mean,
what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do to get you in a hot tub full of Jello, Bill?
Hot tub full of Jello.
We're just
man.
we're just now just paying to demean Bill
in a green
Yeah.
screen bikini.
Yeah,
Yes,
green
Oh,
screen
gosh.
bikini.
Yep. That's the new meta. No one's done that one yet. Nobody hit
Hot tubs.
Everyone's done the bottoms.
You got
do
hot
the tops.
tubs. You got Jello.
Yeah.
The only thing you got the green screen stuff going on right now. The only thing you need is body painting.
Oh,
You
green
got
everything. Oh, that's
screen
good, yeah.
socks, Bill. You could do the feet meta. There's the meta. That's it.
Mhm.
All right.
You know, that's actually genius.
There it is.
I'm telling you. All right. Scruffy, what are you gonna be doing? You got anything going on?
Oh shoot! I was so distracted with all that.
Got all hot and bothered by them.
A little bit, man. My mind was wandering there for a minute, but nah, just gaming some more. Unfortunately, I'm still somehow playing Fortnite, even though I said I hate this season. It's not my favorite. But on to better games that I will be joining into. I'll be coming back to the Rainbow Six Siege this season for sure. I'm excited to get into that, and I'll probably even be joining you guys in some more League here soon. If you
Hey, no,
would
hold
have
on.
me.
Back this fucking train up. They ain't no you guys. Right now that I know of, I'm the only one that's been playing fucking League.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
sorry, I broke my ass. I'm sorry.
I can't help that. You should have grabbed your toes
My
instead of your
bad.
ass. That would have helped.
My bad.
so
Anyway.
that's about it, man. That's about
all
it.
right. Enigma, what
My
are you gonna
bad.
be
I'll
doing?
try harder next time
You
to
should.
not do that.
next time,
Yeah,
don't break your
say,
ass.
like I said, just gonna be playing as much Dragon's Dogma as I can. Still playing Helldivers, so that's about it.
Nice. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Make sure that you guys stay awesome and stay sexy and beautiful and be nice to people, because why the fuck not? There's enough hatred in the world going around. We should have a little bit of niceness. So y'all have a wonderful night. Catch you guys next Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch and YouTube. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Doses.
Arrivederci.
Okay, so now the stream deck doesn't want to work. You sack of monkey shit.
GG.
Hold on.
GG.
All right.
Fixing it in
Yeah,
post.
you're still gonna see us. Okay, now we're leaving. Bye.
Pretend we're not here.
Installation.